Hi, my name is Amanda Morin, and I'm finally starting my YouTube channel. Not because I want to, but because I have to. It's taken me years to get here. Fear held me back. Fear of who I'd lose, who would hurt, or who would come for me once I told the truth. I spoke up in the past. Nobody believed me, and that shattered my life. So I've lived with the silence ever since. But this time, I'm not backing down. There's something people don't talk about enough. When someone important in the public eye, someone seen as respectful or honorable, does something terrible behind closed doors, and you speak out, you become the enemy. They feel exposed. You gotta excuse me. Sorry. They feel embarrassed, so they retaliate. And suddenly you're the problem. They twist the narrative to make you look unstable, dramatic, and delusional. Because if they can discredit you, they don't have to take accountability. This is my first time, so I'm actually reading from what I wrote. So I'm sorry. This is really uncomfortable. And the sad part is, people believe them. The good guy, the one that has a polished image, it happens all the time. Victims come forward, and instead of support, they get silenced. Or worse, disbelief. So we shut down, we stop talking, we carry the shame they created, and they walk free. But no more. I was 14. Already an orphan. Dealing with loss and abandonment. The only one I had that I loved passed away. The only protection I had or I felt secure around. I didn't have my parents. My grandmother was all I had. We were left in the arms of my uncle and my grandfather. They were supposed to protect us. So my uncle comes to me one night. We're at Whataburger, and he tells me that the man I've known my whole life is my father. His brother was not my biological father. That he was. A couple nights pass. He comes home high and drunk and decided he was going to put his hands in my shorts. And I just remember thinking, like, so you confess to being my biological father? For what? Because somehow in your head, you get more pleasure out of what you're fixing to do to me after the fact. moment changed everything. And I didn't say anything to anyone. So there comes a time in my life where I needed him. Mind you, by 15, I've already had my first kid, and I was just happy to be away from that family. Now I'm like 30 something and I need of him. He's just the most cruel person ever, but he has so much pull. It's basically impossible to do anything without everyone, the whole county going up against you. Well, I had to pay him back because I went to jail, and now I owed him. And I'm obligated to be there, so I'm working for him. And I don't recall what happened, but I remember I was working in his game room, and he tells me that I'm fired. So in front of everyone that was in the game room, I yelled out that he's supposed to be there to protect me. That was his last promise that he made my grandmother. And he had failed miserably. And when I said what had happened that night in front of everybody there, this man made it his mission to ruin my life. I mean, like, from taking my truck to all my belongings. That was all I had. So later than taking 2 trailers that I was renting from him and just left me without anything. They watched me sick, homeless, and not care. That went from that moment, losing everything over and over again behind him, to find out that he was paying the boyfriend I was with at the time to do whatever. And we were in our addiction at the time, so it was easy money for him. For his next high, he did it and drove my life miserable right along with that man. They made sure I was homeless, jobless, broke. I tried coming to a family member that was supposed to be like his sister, and she tells me, had the audacity to say not to ever say that again, because he was like her kid's father, and I better not ruin that. These were people who were supposed to be your peace. Everyone in my life that was supposed to protect me or create some kind of environment for me that was safe failed me. I'm 43 years old. And I've been fighting to live since I can remember, since that night. I've been put through things that you can never imagine. And they somehow managed to knock me down every time. Gang stalking, gaslighting is real. The impossible is possible, especially people who have money. Every time I was knocked down, I brought myself back up. I have no one I can call if I needed something. But my higher power always made a way. And I have a saying I stick firm to. Even after everything. I have the most faith in life, and that nobody can take. Staying solid, being loyal to yourself, and keeping faith will get you far. I've gone through a lot of healing and a lot of self-reflection and forgiveness and asking for forgiveness, and this is my last step to freedom. I've lost everything already. There's nothing else they can take from me, and I've stayed silent for too long. I'm very spiritual, and I've helped a lot of people come out of darkness. That's what this page is going to be about. But I figured if I'm going to help people come through the struggle, I have to show mine first. Love is still out there. There's still people who can't be bought, who will love you for you and not worry about what anybody says. But my page is going to be based on healing, acceptance, we have to first accept that we are loved. We are someone. We have every value that they said we didn't. Search for yourself, not for what people portrayed you to be, or the gossip was, or the opinions. We've had that so embedded in us that at the end we don't even know who we are, and we have to find and seek that, but for ourselves, not for anyone else. True healing comes with a lot. But if you're going through this and you're barely starting, you're not alone. There's somebody out there. Don't wait 43 years to speak on it. You speak your truth. You call judgment. The universe will hear you. Even if they don't believe you, there's someone who believes you. know, this video is kind of crazy, and I'm not, it'll be better. It's just hard when you have to speak your truth to the world, and nobody knows it yet. And we're all finding it out here. It's the hardest thing. But along my journey, I found there were more. And that was what pushed me to healing, because they always told me I was delusional, or I was just attention seeking, or trying to cause trouble for others, like because I was an unhappy person, because I was mentally ill, or I wanted everybody to be with me. But once you start to heal, you start pushing those other souls that are out there hurt too, that have been hurt by the same predator, to come out too. You'll find each other. You're not alone in any aspect. I'm here anytime. Just reach out. Thank you all for listening.